What's up, gang? Welcome to the Greatness Machine. I'm your host, Darius Mashazde. I'm so pumped to have you here with me. Now listen, the Greatness Machine, we're about two things. Number one, people who are living their passions. And number two, those who are creating greatness in the world and doing both of these things despite the odds against them. Each episode, we're going to feature interviews with game changers, business leaders, telling us their origin stories, what made them tick, what got them to where they are now. Why? So it can help you step into your greatness within your life, your business, and your career. Occasionally, you might hear a few solo episodes from myself, moi, as I say, as I leverage my 20 years of entrepreneurship as a CEO and founder to help you grow and level up in your journey to scale your life and your business. So come be a fly on the wall, enjoy the conversation, and I'm stoked to have you here with me. What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of The Greatness Machine. I'm your host, Darius Mashazde, and man, I'm flying solo. And today we're going to be talking about checking in on your goals for 2024. And I'm sure many of you 30 days ago, right now it's January 30th, a couple of days before the solo is coming out, you set your intention, your goals for the year. It's 2024. I got my New Year's resolution. It's time to kill it with my goals. And I want you to check in. Where are you at on your 2024 goals? We probably all have these New Year's resolutions. Where are you at on that? And I'm going to give you permission right now to do something that I just did, which is to potentially reset your goals. So many times, I mean, there's this whole thing about people when the new year starts, the gyms are full, and then a month into it, you look and they're empty. It's because people fall off the wagon, they go back to their old habits because they haven't built a new habit yet. And then it's life, business as usual. Nothing's going to change for them in 2024 because they have not changed their habits. So I'm a kind of a goal person. As many of you know, I set some huge goals for 2024. And I did something different this year that I hadn't done before, which is I have a good friend of mine, Eddie Perez, former guest on the show. I advise him and his company. And he's like a warrior. This guy's crazy. I mean, he's got a ton of goals. And so he inspired me to set some pretty crazy goals. So I set goals of, I'm going to journal 250 times this year, and I'm going to run 250 miles. I'm going to work out 250 times, and no bread, no potatoes, no sugar, no alcohol for 90 days. And I mean, there's way more than that, by the way. And I just kept going and going. And I set all these goals, and I got a little overwhelmed, and there's way more. 250, I think it was 300 meditation sessions. I mean, I can give you the whole list. I think I actually gave the list in an earlier solo, but it was a bunch of stuff. There was like 10 items. And last year, my goal was really simple. My goal was I wanted to read 52 books in the year, and I wanted to fix my shoulder, which I kind of fixed my shoulder. I did hit the 52 book goal. But this year, I wanted to get more aggressive on a lot of the physical goals. And I followed his footsteps because this guy literally is like a goal fanatic. And I set a bunch of goals kind of in line with his. I set like 10 and he had set like 15. And then what I noticed, and I want you to take stock of this for yourself, is I've created a process around hitting goals in my life, which is if I start not hitting goals, I start to shrink my goals until I'll hit them. And this is in every way. This is a practice that I've built over the last 20 years, which is the minute I start not hitting my goals, I start shrinking them. I'll give myself a fair chance to hit the goals, but if I start not hitting them, I shrink them until I hit them, and then I'll start growing them again. And so here I was, 2-3 weeks into the year, and I'm not journaling. I have not done any handwritten letters, which I had 50, I think 25 or 52 is the goal. I mean, again, tons and tons of goals. I finished my first book for the year. I was supposed to do 30 for the year. So I'm a little behind on that goal. But I'm like, man, I'm kind of failing at all my goals. And I realized something really quickly. I went into old Darius mode and I said, look, you have too many goals. You need to narrow it down. So I made this really quick pivot, which I encourage you all to do right now if you're not hitting your goals or if you're off track on your goals. And I said, okay, this is too much for me. I tried this. It didn't work. Again, I'm experimenting with myself. I'm experimenting with my life. And I'm going to shrink my goals right now. Time to shrink my goals. So I got really clear on, okay, well, what's the habit that I've already built? I'm going to keep that one. That one's easy. For me, reading's a habit that I've already built. The reason I've only done one book for the year so far It's because I picked a really big book to start with. And the reason I also shrunk my goal, last year I had 52 books was my goal. I shrunk it to 30 was because I wanted to do longer books. And I realized when I had 52 books, I was gaming the system. I was like, oh, that's too long of a book. I don't want to read it. That's going to make me not hit my goal of 52 books for the year. And so I had this big list of books I wanted to read that I didn't read because they were too long. So this year I said, I'm still going to read just as much, but I want to read bigger books. And this gives me some permission to do that because and I listen to books, as many of you know, if I do a 25-hour book, that's like the equivalent of doing 4 normal books. So I shrunk it from 52 to 30 books. I just finished the Steve Jobs book by Walter Isaacson the other day. So I'm done with that. But I'm behind my book goal. I'm like, no big deal. I'll do some smaller books now to get caught up. For the next probably 4 or 5 books, I'll do that. And I'll be back on track by the end of February. No biggie. That's cool. And then I can go back to doing longer books again. But I said, okay, good. I already have the habit of reading. That's a no-brainer. I'm going to go back and do that one. So that's a goal I've decided to settle on, getting rid of the 10 goals I had. And I'm saying, look, okay, that's one. And what I decided on was I'm pretty good at handling 3 things. If I got 3 things I got to do, I can handle that. And in a previous solo episode, I started talking about like one of my things I started doing last year was I said, what are the 3 things I want to be in the world? And for me, it was high impact person, building great relationships, and being healthy. And I really kind of just focused and hovered on those 3. And I was fairly successful at it. And so I thought about the same thing for my goals. And for you, it might be that 3 is too much. Maybe 1's enough, but, and again, this is addition through subtraction, right? Simplify, get rid of your goals so you can hit your goals. And then once you start hitting them again, as we win, we start to add on top of that. So for me, I went too big. I'm going to pivot now. I'm going to stop the bleeding, as you might say, and I'm going to shrink my goals. So I'm going to encourage you right now to start thinking, am I hitting my goals for 2024? This is an after action review. And my check-in was, hey, I have too many. So I want to encourage you right now, take a moment, think to yourself, hey, am I hitting my goals? If I'm not, I need you to think, why am I not? And more than likely, you either pick too big of a goal, or that you didn't have a habit to support, or you have too many. And for me, it wasn't that I picked any of my goals. Any one of my goals was not too big. They were all well thought out. It was just that there's too many of them. I can't keep track of all of them. It's too hard for me to check those boxes each day to build a new habit. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to lean into the ones I know are easy. So that's the second step, is go lean into the ones that you know you're going to do. Pick the goal that you know you're going to hit, and then you can add on top of that later. Why? Because you need to get momentum, right? Hitting goals, building habits is around building momentum. And once you have momentum, then you can start to leverage it, add on top of it. So let's talk about, for instance, people that run. So one of my goals this year is to run. I picked a really doable goal there. And by the way, I'm on track for that goal. My goal was to do 250 miles for the year. And the only way I'll do that is by hitting 5 miles a week. And I hit 5 miles each week so far for the year. And for me, that was a really important goal. I said, I know I can do that goal. So that's the second goal I decided I'm going to keep. The third one for me, which kind of levels into the other 2. So I want to pick a third goal that complements the other 2. And for me, that's working out 250 times this year. Now, I have other goals I'm still going to hit, meditation goals, all that stuff, but I decided to take it off the list, even though I'm still going to do it. And which means I have a hall pass to not hit the other goals as long as I hit these 3. And for me, that's my pivot. I'm in real time. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I'm pretty sure it will. And the reason I picked those 3 is that they support each other. So again, the running goal supports the workout goal. The reading goal actually supports the workout goal. And you're going to say, well, how does that work, Darius? It's because I listen to books when I work out. So I know that if I work out 250 times, that's probably about 5 hours a week of book listening, which is about a book a week. If I do, 7-hour book on 1.5 speed on Audible or whatever device I'm listening to it on. And so I looked at that and said, hey, I can habit stack there. I can get all 3 of these goals done. And again, if I want to add back another goal after I'm getting really strong on those 3 goals, I'll do so. But I took a big step back, even though I'm telling you I have other goals. I have the goals like let's go back to the no sugar, no potatoes, no bread, no alcohol. I'm 30 days in the month. I've not had a sip of alcohol for the year. I'd be lying to you if I If I said I hadn't lived up to my expectation on potato, sugar, and bread, I've had a little bit of bread, I've had a bite of potato, and I've had a little bit of sugar. So for me, it's like, okay, that's not perfect. I'm by the way, I'm still committed to like getting back on that train, even though I fell off or getting back on the wagon, even though I fell off the wagon. So again, shrinking your goals to hit your goals. That is today's theme of our solo. I want you to check in with yourself, do a 1 month check-in. You got 12 months left. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I press the reset button. Like, I did not hit my goals for the year. I just pressed the reset button and then starting again right now, fresh, and it's moving forward from here. So I encourage you to do that. And good luck on your 2024 goals, New Year's resolutions. Just because you fell off the wagon does not mean that you can't hit them. There's no like shame in starting over and pivoting. That is what we do as people who are winners, is we do not accept defeat. We just press the reset button and go forward in a positive manner. So pick those 1, 2, or 3. If that's easy, go for 4 or 5. For me, it was hard. I shrunk it down to 3. Maybe I'll go back to 4. But for right now, those are my 3. I had 10. Didn't work. It was too much. So I'm shrinking my goals to hit my goals. With that said, peace out, everybody. We love you. Make it a great one and hit those goals. Peace.
You are listening to The Greatness Machine, and that's a wrap for today. Listen, if you love what you heard, subscribe to the show on whatever podcast platform that you're tuning in on so that you don't miss any of our future episodes. We have tons of great people coming on, and we're stoked to have you here to enjoy it with us. Leave us a review. Tell us what you love most about this particular episode. We love getting the reviews. We love to see what you guys love most. And if this particular episode, made you think of someone who's leveling up in their business and in their life, print screen, share it with them. Leaders are the best givers. And after all, we're all here to support and grow with each other. And in case you want to see some of the fun behind the scenes shots or some of the things that we're doing, I'm actually writing about this in my weekly newsletter. Go to www.therealdarius.com and subscribe to my newsletter. We're talking about fun things like business and life and mindfulness and cryptocurrencies and gosh, I don't even know, everything and anything, but it's tons of fun stuff I write about. I try to get it out on a weekly basis. You can subscribe at www.therealdarius.com. And with that said, look, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. I love you. Peace. We're out of here. See you guys on the next one.
She's my lover.